Okay, so we're flying to Spain to talk about a topic that we touched on the previous blog, which is the fantastic topic of quantum technologies. We sometimes talk about quantum encryption, but in this case, we're going to be talking about the quantum internet. How do we protect communications through quantum algorithms and quantum phenomena? And while this has been in existence for a while in the lab, we are now at a breakthrough point where we can start deploying these technologies at scale at a commercial level. So to talk about how we do that, how we actually build the backbone of the next generation quantum communication global network, please welcome Sam Grandi, CEO at ARC Quantum Technologies.
Okay, so up to a few years ago, the only thing you could get from a telecom company was your landline. Then, a few decades ago, they also started offering you internet connection, then throwing in the full bundle your mobile. But by now, your landline is mostly a nuisance, and people are even dropping now the internet connection. What we want to ask is, what's the next thing that they're going to offer? And we think that perhaps, with our help, it's going to be a quantum connection. Because at ARC Quantum Technologies, we enable the quantum internet. We make this possible. The quantum internet is an interconnected network of quantum hardware, where now entanglement is shared as a resource, enabling a new portfolio of application from quantum secure communication to cloud quantum computing. But to enable this quantum communication, you need your network to be quantum. You need quantum telecommunication hardware. So what do we need from this new technology? Well, we can look at the classical world for inspiration. Any classical networks, you have, for example, a way to transmit information, the optical fibers. But then we have loss in the optical fibers. We need a way to amplify them. And, crucially, we need multiplexing, which is the ability to send messages in parallel, not in sequence. And at ARC, we do this, but in the quantum domain, with a strong focus on the multiplexing side. And for us, unlocking these technologies is crucial, because it gives us access to the quantum communication market, which is an ever-growing market that's seen a strong interest from the private and the public alike. We've seen $40 billion invested in quantum communication in the public, $1.5 billion just by France a few weeks back, but also in the private domain, with more and more startups created, us included, and a major player working on quantum communication especially. For example, a slew of applications by IonQ recently, and a quantum network announced by IBM and Cisco. And the expectation is really that the same level of disruption brought about by the classical network will be repeated by the quantum one. And what sets us aside then in this growing market? Well, our technology. Because our solution combines a heavily multimode quantum memory with an entanglement source connecting it to the fiber network. Of course, this is not the only solution. We're in very good companies, a lot of metrics you can judge us from, but multiplexing, the third ingredient of quantum communication, is our strong point with massive access to maximum multiplexing, which brings the cost down and the rate up, which is what you want in communication. And well, thanks to all these good reasons, Emmanuel and I founded ARC Quantum Technologies late last year. We're based in Barcelona, already embedded in all the major European projects on quantum communication, connecting quantum computers and bringing quantum networking infrastructure around Europe outside of the lab. And this will help us in achieving our vision, reaching a moment where we can generate, distribute, and consume entanglement to bring technology beyond what is closely possible with classical means. Thank you.
Okay, question for Sam, please. Judges, your turn. Not everyone at the same time, please. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the clear information. If I may ask, what is the value that you propose, that is completely different from your competitor, What do you think is that you offer that your next competitor is not going to be able to offer? Thank you.
Thank you. What I was mentioning before is multiplexing. Multiplexing allows us to bring costs down and rates up. That's what you want in communication, being able to have cheap communication at high rate. And if you don't have one of the two, then you don't have much of a communication. You either need to spend a lot of money for maybe some that doesn't make your time worth, or you're just so slow that a lot of use cases are beyond your reach. So for us, the native multiplexing of our technology is really what allows us to offer viable communication at long distances, because it also increases the reach.
Okay, second question. Okay, thank you.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. Jaime Gil Delgado from Dozen. I would like to know who is your client, and are you working with some of them already? You're in conversations? Thank you.
Yes. So, of course, it was maybe clear at the beginning that our target client would be telecommunication companies. Companies that will buy the hardware from us and install them on the network to then sell the service to third parties. We are already collaborating, for example, with Telefonica in some of the projects that I mentioned at the beginning, at the end, Quantum Internet Alliance and Quantum Internet Initiative. They are our partners. We're working directly with them, also with Cellnex and other big infrastructure owners, to start working together on potential use cases. And we are also sidestepping them, helping them reach out to what would be their own clients, something that we're doing right now, talking, for example, to a few banks and a few hospitals.
Okay, with this, big applause for Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. And now we're flying to Poland to tackle something that is just fascinating. Who here has been to San Francisco? Raise your hand. Oh yeah, a lot of people. Were you or weren't you afraid of the earthquakes there? So? You know, when you talk with seismologists, they go like, you know, we know there's going to be a big earthquake in the San Andreas Fault in 10 years. I'm like, can you be more precise, please? Because I'm going next month. Is it going to be okay? We don't know. We know it's going to happen, but it's time scale of 10 years. What if I told you that finally this is changing? We now have the technology mixing physics, mixing satellite information, mixing something that's called muon detection to actually predict and forecast potential earthquakes up to 20 days from now. Will you buy that? If not, don't trust me, listen to our next pitch. Please welcome on stage Sandro Eschliman, Head of Business at Astrotech AI.
Imagine, you're on a family vacation in Turkey, everything is perfect, when suddenly the earth starts shaking, everything splitters around and collapses on you. You're stuck, alone in the dark, but the only thought is, what is with my family? In this case, everything was fine, happy ending. But sadly, this wasn't the case for 60,000 people in Turkey in the 2023 earthquake. 100 billion in damages occurred, and those people had 0 seconds of warning. Why? Because current system only detect the first shock wave. This means even the best system in the world gives you only 60 seconds. Astrotech AI is about to change this. We forecast earthquakes 20 days in advance with a 90% detection rate. In the case of Turkey, this would have meant 22 days of alarm, which could have been used. We forecasted the M7.5 earthquake, which was actually a 7.8, but we also saw the afterquake, as well as were able to localize them correctly. This information could have reduced the casualty rate by 70%, reduced damages by 30 billion just by timely evacuation and shutdowns. How we do this? We have a multi-channel AI system which uses cosmic radiation, satellite data, atmospheric measurements, as well as ground seismic data to identify precursors which other systems are missing. Our system is proven. 4 published patents, 22 earthquakes successfully forecasted in pilots in Greece and Mexico, as well as a paid pilot which is coming up together with Tokyo Marine in Japan this year. How we monitorize? We sell high-margin data, seismic data, to governments, insurance, and corporates. Just to clarify, this is a 30 billion market opportunity which drives by high value and long-term contracts. Besides Tokumi in Japan, also Tokumi in USA, multiple insurance carriers in Mexico and Chile, as well as the Turkish government are interested in deploying our system. And the best, this is only the beginning. Because we have a multi-channel system and gather all the data already, we will be able to also forecast tsunamis, landslides, volcanic activity, and sinkholes. Thanks.
Right on time. Very good. German punctuality. I like that. Okay, question for Sandro, please.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. So I understood who you're selling to, but I'm still struggling to understand who's your buyer persona, and also if you can walk us a little bit through your go-to-market. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very different. So we have governments, we have emergency agencies, obviously. If it comes to the insurance markets, we speak with different partners in the insurance industry. So you have insurance and reinsurance, you have the traders, you have the underwriters, and if you go to corporates, it's mostly risk managers. Does it make sense, or you wanted to go more in? Okay.
He's gotten asked that question many times, clearly. Any other question?
So thanks for the presentation. I was going to ask because you told us that authorities will be able to prepare in 20 days in advance, but how could you handle false positives in your software?
Yeah, good question. So there are different measurements. In general, we reduce the false to like a bare minimum. So it is 1% alarm rate, which we are measuring. This means this would be only a few days, 4 days per year, where you give the alarm because exactly governments want to have very low false minimums.
Okay, with this, big applause to Sandro. Thank you very much, Sandro. Big applause for him. Really impressed with that tech. That's really amazing. By the way, for those of you that don't know this, my dad is a geologist, so I kind of lived through this kind of passion of earthquakes and Mother Nature. Anyway, so now we're flying all the way to South Korea to talk about something that I think we all deep down feel it. How many times you switch between AI models because when you're receiving the questions, some of the models feel more human than others? Raise your hand if the humanity of the answers kind of rubs you in a way. Okay, interesting. The rest of you are psychopaths or anything? No? Okay, good, good. Just have it checked later on, But it's true that as human beings, we relate with things that look like us, that act like us, like behave like us, right? And it is true that certain AIs are not all the time behaving as a normal human being. But what happens when we start deploying AI at scale? What happens when we start moving from software all the way to physical AI? And we start interacting with these things, physically interacting with these things. Well, to bring the humane part to this physical AI, we have our next startup, embedding real human emotions into the core of the next generation of AI. Please welcome DK Kim, CEO at Hi Stranger.
Hello, stranger. I'm DK Kim, CEO of Hi Stranger. Yeah, we build the emotional intelligence for AI. And today, AI understands your words, but AI don't understand what you're feeling. So because AI runs based on the text, so AI don't just memorize the emotions. It's not true. So AI don't truly understand the people's. So we want to truly understand the data set. So we building the AI emotional data layer. So and then emotional AI market is $45 billion 2034. So in 10,300% increase. And we are on another company to build the emotional AI to serve content, but we go the other way. We use the content to build the emotional data. And I will invest in, I want to film investors. I have a big hit the films, but I always feel scared because when I invest the film, I just believe my gut feelings. Is this true? But I don't know. So I wanted to change this system, so I make the Insight Pro. Insight Pro is based on this biosignal. We detected past what you show eyes, where you look, and brainwave what you think. We same time with 3 signals we combined and then we give to the data. And then we have already many clients in Korea. So let me show you this. In film, so it is reacting using our system. Its certification is 70% off. Game is number one is in 15 countries and $2 million download in 10 days. And script is follow the investor. And Singapore company wanted to do the brand advertising. And then why is working, we have the patents annual 90% accuracy is compiled in Korea in government. And then we spend the multiplication platform, and then we go into the malls, and then we making the SaaS system in September, and next we making lead the biosignal using your pupils, no device, just camera and your eyes. And then now we're going to the strategy, going to the global market, and now and then last one, we are teams. We neuroscience and then meet the storytelling. Georgia Tech, Dr. PhD, CTO, 20 years, content producer, VP, and investor, me. Yeah, now. So our pitching is end.
Big applause for DK, please. Okay, question for DK. Judges.
Well, first of all, thank you for your presentation. It was pretty good. And I have one question here because I think I didn't get it well. You provide this software and it should be tested in a lab or something like that to know the react and the emotions of the people who are seeing the screen or the film, or they can be tested at home? How does it work? I think I did not get it well.
Actually, I don't understand what you say because my English is not good. So maybe I think so. I'm guessing your questions. Yeah, when you
Are you testing this? How do you test?
How do you testing? We have when client wanted to do our client wanted to do testing to our company. We have a conversation, and then we making our testing. And before the testing, we analyze it using the LLM, and we making the contents, the labeling. So, and then we testing the per person instead we making this system, this device, the setting, and person just watching the movie. When they're watching the movie, we are real time collected their emotions. Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, judges? Make it very quick, please, and clear.
Similar direction, how do you teach the library, and do you need to do different libraries for maybe different regions around the world?
How do you teach with different people in different regions?
Sorry, I don't.
The emotions are different in different places.
Yeah.
How do you teach that?
Teach what why we do teach?
It's gonna be hard.
I don't understand why we did teach.
How do you train the model actually on different geographies with different expressions, maybe also different meanings?
Okay, how do you train the AI? Spaniards? Ah!
Yeah.
Korean? How do you train that different?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
But Yeah, it's very difficult, complicated. Thank you for your question. We using the brainwave. Brainwave is not difficult. Actually, it's just when you're scared, it, Asian people's brainwave is moving. Either European moving is similar. It's not difficult. Just to pass is difficult a little bit, but it's real algorithm is just small is pass. We are brainwave and pulse and other things is more powerful using our algorithms.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank
Big
you.
applause for DK. Thank you so much. This like reminds me of the joke. You know, you're talking with Finn people. If you've never been to Finland, those people they think they're very humorous. And it's like I told a joke, and the Finn guy goes like, "Yeah, I heard." That, but you're not laughing. It's like I'm laughing inside. Okay, so their mind is laughing, their face doesn't show the emotions. Happens. Anyway, we're flying now all the way to Spain to touch one field of AI that's extremely interesting with a lot of heated rivals and a lot of stuff happening in that field, which is voice models. If you're not using voice to control AI, you're doing it wrong, by the way. So there's an increasing amount of voice models happening around. And the problem with these models is that, as you know, they keep saying in the AI industry that the bigger, the better. But maybe not. Can we run those models on a common CPU? Can we run those models on your phone? Well, to see if that can be achieved, please welcome our next startup. Big applause to Daniel Barrera, CEO at Locutor.
Hello, good morning. So I was just backstage and I was wondering why. Why do they make us come all the way here to just make a pitch and we could just send over an email and that's that? But actually the answer is voice. Voice is how we communicate best. And that's the thing. Why aren't companies incorporating voice to the way we communicate with AI? It makes no sense. So we decided to research that field and know why this is happening. So we came up with 3 reasons why that's not happening. The first one is that models are so slow. You ask a question, you wait for 5 seconds, and then it doesn't feel natural anymore, you interrupt it, it's awful. So then there comes the second one, and to me the most important one, also to business people, which is the fact that they are super expensive. Like if you try to run voice models at scale with GPUs, it's something that you cannot like actually maintain. Because like GPU cost is going down, yeah, but models are getting bigger and bigger. We'll talk about that just in a few seconds. And the third one is the fact that it's not private. If you need to rely on third-party models, you need to send over the data, and then this data is not yours anymore. You cannot be GDPR compliant, and that's bad for multiple industries. So, well, this is what I was talking about. So GPU cost, this is GPU cost, the red one, is going down like 75% in the last 3 years. However, this going down, it does not compensate the fact that voice models are getting bigger and bigger. So we decided to put ourselves right here. We decided to make the most efficient voice AI model ever existed, with just 50 million parameters and real time on CPU and a high mean opinion score, and 142 times cheaper than the rest of voice models. So how we did that, I'm not going to get deeply into it. If you want, you can ask me. I'm super nerd on this. So basically, we just transferred some knowledge of image models into voice models, which was a big breakthrough, and yada, yada. So basically, we also built an orchestration tool that is able to actually orchestrate communications and conversations in a natural way. And here's a bit of competition, where you can see a lot of blank space, because basically it's something that people aren't aiming for, because most of the companies that sell voice AI are actually funded by the same companies that give you GPU power. So then they don't have to spend the costs on GPU, and then they can maintain like this. But this won't go on forever. We've seen this trend also going on with LLMs, which are now getting smaller. So, well, the market opportunity is not showing well, but basically, the time is huge, because like we actually are tackling the whole industry of voice AI, and we are starting by the companies that actually are cost like apprehensive, because like we offer like 142 times cost reduction. So yeah, basically we are starting with Cloud API, which we're launching this week. Then we will move on to on-premise, which is kind of our thing, and then finally to on-edge, because we can run these models even on cell phones. So yeah, this is my co-founder, which is on the crowd, and this is me. And basically, we've enrolled with Barcelona Supercomputing Center now, which is a great opportunity. And this is basically what we're trying to look for, $1 million in pre-seed money. Thank you. I was a bit
Very good.
tight on time.
Applause to Daniel. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Okay. Whoopsie. Questions for Daniel, please. Judges, questions. There you go. Are you going to need my translation?
No, yeah, that was super good, but I think worked well. Why on-premise?
Why on-premise? Because we have this huge edge. The fact that if you now go to companies and you offer on-premise, they need to spend like a huge amount on actually running CPUs, which will then cost them a huge amount to maintain them, and then they won't be good for the next year, because like every time we get bigger and better CPUs. And then if we offer on-premise, we can reduce this cost. But the most important thing is the fact that if you offer it on-premise, you can tackle industries like, for example, finance industries, where data privacy is very important, or healthcare industries, like any kind of industry that needs to actually have full confidence on the fact that their models like only own their own data. This is like our edge on-premise. Thank you for the question. Great question, by the way.
Judges, another question?
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I would like to know how you monetize. You just pay per month, by usage, both of them?
Yeah, I cannot go back on the slides, right? No? We don't think so. Okay, no worries. So it depends on what we are tackling. If we're going through the API, we have a billing for developers, basically, which is like basic per month billing and per usage if you exceed the monthly quota. And then we have the on-premise for companies, which we pay like a quota, like a big ticket for actually installing this system, and actually a monthly fee for support and actually like updating these systems and everything. And then the last one, which is the edge one, we actually sell it like a ticket for like getting permit to like sell our software, like our models. And then basically we can negotiate the per sale percentage on what we get. So it depends on which one you're tackling, but we have them mostly structured out.
Okay, big applause for Daniel. Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much. Amazing startups actually coming from the Barcelona Supercomputing Center, so that's very true. Now we're flying to the UK to talk about something that I believe that anyone that has a website is now wrestling with, which is how do you position your website with the changes in SEO, taking into account that most people are now looking about information through AI models. So how do you rank yourself? How do you put yourself there? To be honest, I've always not been a fan of SEO. It feels sometimes like the blind leading the blind. It's like, let's make this change and see what happens. Are we ranking better? Oh yeah, we're ranking better. Keep it. We change things, nothing happened. Okay, keep changing until something happens, okay? Very few people, very few companies actually do a real in-depth study of the data and the data signals that require for a website to actually be well-placed and well-positioned in AI. And to tell you how they do that and how they're killing it, please welcome our next startup on stage, Johannes Eret, CEO at Lunalift.
Most of you are entrepreneurs, innovators, and investors in great ideas. But having a good product is no longer enough. You need to be found, trusted, and chosen. Instead of only traditional search engines like Google, you now have many models and agents with distinct personalities. In order to succeed, you have to answer the questions. What are your customers asking AI? Why are your competitors showing up in the answers? And how do you get recommended instead? The major shift to AI search is moving billions in revenue from stagnant companies to those that invest in AI search today. Introducing Lunalift, we help your company to become visible, trusted, and recommended in AI search. We show you frequent queries that your ideal customers are asking AI, and action customized strategies that help you win against your competitors. We feed millions of signals of what's working best into content workflows that amplify your expert voice. And we can even measure the impact of AI search on your new customer and revenue growth. The tectonic shifts in the 2 trillion online search industry are affecting almost every company. We work with direct companies and agency partners. Existing tools like Peak AI focus mainly on tracking AI search visibility. We go deeper by automating strategies and optimization while helping humans and agents to collaborate. Our patent-pending solution makes it easy for AI to understand your website, and we have the most advanced competitor tracking of AI-attributed conversions in the market. LunarLift offers usage-based pricing with tiers that let you save the more you commit. And we built an acquisition engine that identifies companies that benefit from inbound customers, have low AI search visibility, and use supported technologies. We finished our closed beta with 20 trusted partners across the US, UK, and Europe, and are now scaling to 1,000 customers by opening our acquisition channels. My co-founder Naomi had her own marketing agency after working with global brands like Adidas and Burberry. And I have 10 years of experience as founder and CEO in tech, and also former VP of AI at Cognizant that I helped to scale from 1 to 85 million ARR and a 500 million valuation. If you are ready to become a winner of the AI search revolution, then let's talk, connect on LinkedIn, and take a quick picture of the code to get early access. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. Come on, big applause for him. Okay, judges, questions, please.
Thank you very much for the interesting pitch. I think all of us here and most of the audience, we are into this, because this is a solution that all of us need, so it's not only focused on one sector. The only thing is that I didn't have very clear idea of what is the cost of your solution, or maybe I didn't have time to see that,
Sorry, can you repeat the last bit, please?
Yes, what is the cost of the solution? How much do I have to pay as a client to get this solution?
It's funny because I ask you the same thing. It's like, how much
is
it?
Yeah,
Take
of course.
my money.
It's a very good question. So the pricing starts at $149 per month, and it's usage-based pricing, so it goes up to several thousand per month or whatever you use. So the usage is based on like how many prompts we're tracking, how big the website is, and how much the agents are used. So, but all of our plans include the same enterprise features. So we see it beneficial for all companies, large and small, to have as many users almost as they want to. And really because it's a competition, they need to compete with everything that they have and what we have to win in AI search.
Okay, that wasn't me. Second question, please. There we go.
So I saw a thing last month, half a dozen similar startup. What do you plan to do actually in the near future to compete with those?
Also a very good question. So thank you.
Just in case.
Battery maybe. Okay. So yeah, it's regarding our mode, right? It's a competitive market. How do we compete in the long term? So first of all, we are an AI company by heart, right? So we, other than other companies that just track the visibility, we build our own models and we collect a lot of data. So the more our customers use us and we have more customers, the better the solution becomes. We also, I mean, it's the question like how defensible that, it's a question about AI patents or software patents in general, but we have patented our optimization workflow and to have further IP protection. But ultimately, we have to be very fast. AI is at our heart. We are very good at that.
Okay, let's
for
make
a
it
very
short.
long time. Yeah. So yeah, that's our strategy.
Okay, big applause then for Johannes. Thank you very much. Before we melt down here. Okay, the team is working. Something is, as you can see, beeping, but so far we haven't melted down yet. Now we're flying all the way to the Netherlands, and something that was really demolishing, there was information from Cloudflare recently. The CEO of Cloudflare shared the drop on traffic on websites, organic traffic to websites versus the growth of AI, right? So a lot of people that base their revenue models on advertising are basically being wiped out from the market. So the question is, can we actually reinvent the model in a way that we can actually keep doing advertising, but in the age of the AI scrapers? And to talk about that, how we make a model, how we create that layer, please welcome our next startup on stage from the Netherlands, co-founder of OAC, Choi Travers.
Think of the last time you asked AI something and got a perfect answer. That answer came from digital publishers, newspapers, articles, magazines, websites, content someone created. I know a publisher in Amsterdam that spent the last 20 years building his site. Last year, he lost more than 50% of his website traffic because AI had completely cut him out. That is the end of the click. For the last 25 years, the internet worked this way. Visit, click, revenue. AI has disrupted that. Now AI steals publishers' content and gives it to users, often for free. Publisher traffic is down 33%, even 90%. Scary, right? Billions of AI answers are generated every single month, and most publishers get nothing. The monetization layer is missing. OAC helps publishers turn AI visits into revenue. When AI visits a publisher's page, we insert sponsored text that the AI picks up and brings back to the user. Advertisers get a new advertising channel, and publishers get revenue. So we detect AI traffic in real time. We measure AI traffic, then we inject sponsored text, and then we measure the impact. Our client, IMExpat, is a leading publisher. Glider Insurance wanted more visibility in AI. Before OAC, 0%. After 26 days, 32.6% across ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Claude. This is how it works. Advertisers pay a monthly fee. Publishers keep the majority of revenue. We have 25 publishers on board and first advertiser pilots active. AI traffic is being monetized in various ways. Platforms make money from ads in their chatbots. Licensing tools make money from access. OAC is different. We help publishers turn their AI traffic into revenue. My name is Choi. I lead go-to-market. Sven is my technical co-founder. We've closed 500K pre-seed. Now we're inviting more publishers and advertisers to join us. Publishers built the internet. They deserve to get paid for it. Help me, help you. Thank you.
There you go. Right on time, my friend. Okay. Getting used to the beep?
Yeah, getting used to the beep.
You just need to get used. Just ignore the beep. Just doesn't exist. Okay, judges. Questions, please. There you go.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. My question is, this type of business models where you have a two-sided platform where you have the publishers and the advertisers, it's always hard to grow, right? So my question would be, which one do you focus on right now? Is it more the publishers or the advertisers, and why?
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a chicken and egg problem when you're trying to build a two-sided marketplace. When we have both publishers and advertisers, we thought best way to start was be on board publishers. So we've only been full-time since January. We've got 25 publishers on board, and now that we have one part of the problem, we're starting to match these with advertisers, and once we onboard more agencies and publishing owners, we can start to see network effects.
Okay, another question, judges? No? Yep, over there. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I have a question. How efficient is that advertising, right? Do you have any numbers of how efficient would be that for advertiser to participate in such kind of a new way of advertising?
Yeah, the beautiful thing about advertising in AI is that you can't track attribution. It's not the same way as Google ads or Facebook ads where you can know your exact click, exact measurement. So you've got to take a step back into the past and think about this more like a billboard on the side of the motorway, but it's the billboard inside of the AI motorway. We may not be able to give you attribution, but what we do is we use verified third parties like PromptWatch, PKI, these are AI visibility platforms, and we'll take 100 prompts of the best 4 or 5 AI models, track your visibility before and after our injection, and that's how we give you brand uplift, and that's the best anyone can do.
Okay, very good. Big round of applause to Choi. Thank you so much. And now we're flying all the way to Singapore to fix something that I'm very passionate about, using visual models. Actually, I studied AI in my degree, and one of the things that we did a lot in AI was computer vision. But now we're taking computer vision to a completely new level, and we're deploying it on a lot of different industries, including the retail industry. But there's two problems that are tremendously hard, not hard, but challenging to fix. First one is inventories, stock. How do you know what you have in your shop? How do you know what there is in the convenience store? And the second one is that if you want to have an automated system to actually do that, you require a fairly large deployment on the cloud. Well, how about I tell you, our next startup actually fixes both. You don't need to deploy the cloud. We run the AI computer vision models on premises for any kind of convenience store, normally small stores. So please welcome our next startup on stage, Lucas Piotrowski, CEO and founder at OmniShelf.
Buenas tardes, me llamo Lucas, soy un fundador de OmniShelf. Esta mañana llegué del México, donde estuve negociando un contrato con la cadena convenience más grande de toda Latinoamérica. Entonces, why the convenience wants OmniShelf? It's because we have created the AI infrastructure for the retail based on the small visual learning models, Estrella, very deep tech, which automates small format stores directly on the edge, meaning no cloud computing, no image processing in the cloud. All the retailers, whether the large or the small format, have for decades exactly the same. This is not presentation, sorry. That's wrong presentation. Okay, I will just go with that. They're struggling with the with very high operating costs, the paper planograms, which are very manual. They have that drives their margins down, and they all face exactly the same, the out of stock. In OmniShelf, my colleague, Rehab, will present you what the store employee has to do. Simply, they open the application, which is on the edge, working on an airplane mode, scan the shelf, top to bottom, in 5 seconds. Now the system not only monitors prices, products, and promos, but creates the tasks, analyze it, and force the employee to execute it here and now, because the money are lost here and now. That creates the side effect of large data sets, which then can be sold to the CPG brands. What is there on the market? For the past 10 years, all the retailers have tried the different image recognition. They're all in a cloud, they're all taking photos, and they solely work with the Coca-Colas of the world. OmniShelf runs on the edge, meaning on the chip device inside the store, utilize the video as the vision AI, and focus on the employee inside the store, because they make a difference. When it comes to our team, 3 of us founders, we are here since the inception. We're all Asia-based. Our directors are with us since we started our deep tech R&D project 5 years ago. We run it at the scale already. 4,500 stores run in Philippines, the system. We're currently deploying 28,000 stores. Not only that, we have 20 POCs, 60 engaged retailers representing 350,000 stores. Why? Because we charge per store per month. What we did, our business model runs modularly. And what we did in the Philippines is not only increase the sales, but reduce significantly the time of the employees. Now, today, we're on the 6 million revenue, contracting 100,000 stores and opening the Series A at the end of the year. Now, I invite you to open the checks if you feel that our edge gonna become your edge. Thank you.
Very good. Question for Lucas.
Also, wrong presentation, just to say.
Questions?
Hello? Does it work? Yeah. How do you solve the issue of deep shelves when you can't count maybe how many are in the back?
Right. So there is a device, and my colleague will click through very quickly in order to show in the same workflow as the employee arrives to the cycle count. Instead of doing the tedious cycle counts, there is the smart predictive cycle count based on the POS and inventory data in order to address phantom stocks and not do the cycle counts once a month or once a quarter.
Okay. Second question, please.
The LiDAR doesn't work.
Hey.
Thanks for the presentation. And you shortly talk about a new revenue line or business line that you were going to open, which was selling that data. Could you talk a bit more about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So every single contact with the retailer, we start with the business case, which is divided into different modules. Each one of them has 2 to 3 different use cases, split between the sales recovery or the time reduction. In the sales recovery, when we arrive into the data monetization, it's actually extra revenue. From where? From CPG brands bringing the field marketers to the stores once a week, once a month, in order to check the product, OSA, the prices, promos. Now, they can simply sell this data and give the signals to the CPG brands. And that model is starting to run in Korea across the 3 retailers we are engaged with.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much, Lucas. Big applause to him. Thank you so much. And now we're flying to Ukraine to talk about a problem that I think every single one of us is struggling with, which is we have so many subscriptions, we have so many things that we don't really know where we're spending the money. Now, if it's at an individual point, bad luck, we'll pay more money. But if you're a corporation, then you better keep track of the things you're spending. I just heard, I don't know if you've heard this, there was a very large US corporation that spent 500 million on AI tokens in a month. And I know what company that is. I won't tell you, but go and research it. 100 million in a month, that's pretty insane. Okay, so to keep tabs of precisely that, how do we control our spend base? Please welcome the Chief of Growth, Yuri Momot from Spendbase.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction. So basically, the first question is, how fast would you scale if you're going to have unlimited capital, or at least knowing that your budget won't be burned? But the problem, though, that actually not all the companies understand how much they overspend. Software AI usage recently became the most drainers of that situation. And it can be absolutely inefficient and fatal for the startups. Right now, that's exactly what Spendbase is solving. We optimize customer spend in the areas they didn't know were overspending and in the ways they didn't know were existing. But it's not only about optimization, it's about breaking all habits. Yeah, obviously we have saved already 10,000 in the cost optimization, but it's more about bringing opportunities and the tools that actually prevent you from the overspending in the first place. So there are some core values and tools that I actually would like to highlight. The first one is LLM API that allows you to, that helps you to have the smart AI control on the spend. The second one is spend management platform that helps you to manage and utilize all your subscriptions. The third one is for those who are dealing with the chargebacks. It actually is a possibility to check all the and revert all the lost revenue. And the last but not least, Nivo as well, all-in-one platform that helps you to have AIs under one roof. So imagine you don't waste money on the AI that you cannot control. And with the LLM APIs, there is also possibility to allocate the cost-efficient model for every specific task. And you don't have to waste money on some complex or really expensive AI just to do the simple workflow. Another point is Nivo, that's also like collecting one subscription instead of 10. So your team gonna have access to 400 plus AI models in the same place. You can collaborate across the departments, and as well as your finance and IT team have full access to control and visibility. What about the cloud credits as well? Right now, not any companies know that they actually have the possibility to secure up to 2 years of the free cloud spend. And we're talking about 300,000 of cloud credits, cloud discounts that we as the official partner can bring. Another about the discount that actually also can be covered by us. We already built a strong, solid network of the top software providers as well as the niche ones, and featuring more than thousands of discounts that's already on our marketplace. And we're imagining the usage of banking in the companies, and we also provided the cards that actually help you save. It's spend limits, is cashback, and it's full automation. Another one for those who are dealing with the chargebacks, it's we at Toka and very few partners, so we are able to help more than 20,000 of merchants around the globe. And right now we have the partnership with the MasterCard with more than 1.2 million in the committed revenue.
Yuri,
That's
we're
all, I guess.
out of time.
Yeah.
Big applause to Yuri. Between the beeps and your speed, it was like, you can rap, man. Breathe now, breathe. You can breathe now. Okay, judges, questions, please. Questions for Yuri? Yes, no, no, yes, no? No?
No questions, though, okay.
No questions for you? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Big applause for Yuri. Thank you very much. Now, we've been talking about different AI technologies, computer vision. You have things like OCR. We've been using all these things for a while, but it is true that the new technologies are unlocking like the next stage of things. And one of it is, you know, if you try to access an old archive, things that have been digitalized, we do have the digitalization of all that information. Hopefully, it keeps increasing, not all of them. But you still just get the text. What if I told you that nowadays we can do so much more? What if we actually get all those digitalized archives and we build structure, we normalize information, we create a whole layer that we can now query and search for specific constructed information? So to talk about how we build the future of transcription in documents, please welcome our next startup, the international business developer Aitor Aguilar for Transcription AI.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. Let me share a challenge that may sound familiar to you. 99.97% of human documentation remain trapped in non-digital formats. That means that trillions of documents containing values data remain locked away that cost billions of euros. Until now, companies and institutions relied on costly methods, creating a gap, because manual transcription is unaffordable and non-scalable. Indeed, OCR and HTR methods falls into one best trap, selecting one hypothesis and losing up to 30% of critical data. In Transcriptorium, we surpassed this barrier with Archaic, or documental platform that transforms scans into database. Our disruptive advantage is Bricks, or probabilistic indexing engine that prevents the loss of information by indexing every role hypothesis in a lattice. With Bricks, no data is discarded. Every hypothesis remains fully searchable. Indeed, it's agnostic of the language, and obviously remains at the fully disposal of the archivist. But talking about Archaic or document platform is talking about a new logic of data management. Because once we have the critical and the quality data, we can perform value layers to achieve the goals of the specific needs of our clients. Okay, we are targeting a 30 billion of global market. And with our business model based on pay-per-use and license to high-volume clients, we are targeting a 71 million market to 2030. Okay, but that's a reality because we have traction collaborating with companies and institutions across Europe and Latin America. Our team is composed by a scientist DNA with a K founders, a management team, and paleographic technical team. So we are seeking about 1 million euros in investment. We will allocate 650,000 to develop our product and 850,000 to develop our international market. So to all of you, join us in the challenge to bring Europe to the claim of the sovereignty data. Thank you so much.
Victor, you still had 10 seconds. Very good. Question for Victor, please.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. So I believe you mentioned that half of the raise of the money that you want to raise is going to go to tech development. So my question would be, what features do you want to develop that you still need to develop, and also what are your clients asking you to develop?
That's a very good question. First of all, thank you. Our technological development aims to be as comprehensive with the client as we can. I mean, that interactions with our clients make us more powerful because we talk about to the specific needs, we talk about the specific challenge, and that's so curious because in that interactions, so clients propose several new uses to these kind of products. But that's the past because we already developed this kind of uses, and that's now a reality.
Okay. Second question, please, over there.
So, thank you for the presentation. And can you tell me a little bit more about the user experience of your platform? And do you require the clients to upload the documents in a specific format or scan them or something like that? Yeah, thank you.
I don't know why.
Sorry.
That's fire.
Okay, team, we have smoke coming out of this. No panic yet, but, you know, clearly something is not working on this one. We fixed it! Come on!
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for your question. We have already so powerful experience with, for example, National Archives. For example, a very useful experience in that conversation. That's not initiating by now. That's the National Archive of Colombia with a very sensible documentation, with a large amount of documentation. And the project is fascinating because that's a very interesting documentation in terms of accessibility to the citizens and also to the internal use. And in terms of requirements, the only thing that we require to the institution or company is that it scans the image is in a 300 dpi and in TIF format or JPG. Thank you so much.
Okay, with this, please, big applause for Victor. Thank you very much. And we are nearly there. Last startup, and I feel a little bit ashamed that we don't have the dude anymore. That's a little bit unfair. He's gonna have advantage now without the dude happening. Anyway, last startup of the block. How is everyone doing over there? Good? Still with me? Okay, one last effort. We got this. And we are now staying and flying in Spain. I don't know how many times you've been to this immersive experiences in the museums. You know, the Van Gogh Museum and stuff like that, where it's immersive rooms where you can move around and things react to you. Well, developing those things take time. It's very archaic technology. But what if we could design something that's as simple as doing Canva for anyone that wants to bring up those immersive experiences. So to talk about that, how we do that, please welcome the last startup of the blog, Victor Manuel Moran, CEO at Ubiquity.
Hello. We believe that immersive spaces should be as accessible as websites or mobile apps. Today, they are still complex, difficult to scale, and expensive. At Ubiquity, we're changing that. I'm Victor Moran, CEO of Ubiquity. The immersive market is growing more than 30% annually and delivers strong results in sales, training, and customer engagement. But adoption is still limited. Why? VR headsets isolate users and add friction. Traditional immersive rooms remove that, but they are expensive, difficult to scale, and require technical team to operate. The result is immersive technology still struggles to scale. The solution is Ubiquity. Ubiquity is the AI-assisted, no-code platform to create and operate immersive spaces at scale. We reduce the time, cost, and complexity. What previously required months of integration and specialized teams now can be created and deployed in minutes. Ubiquity platform allows any user to create and deploy immersive experiences autonomously without requiring technical expertise. To accelerate adoption, we also have developed Ubox. Ubox is our plug-and-play immersive installation to simplify deployment. Regarding the market, we are targeting enterprise immersive application in real estate, manufacturing, training, and corporate. That is a multi-billion opportunity. Our business models combines recurring software as a service licenses with deployment and activation ones. Unlike competitors, Ubiquity is the only AI-assisted no-code platform that is hardware agnostic. That means we can make it simpler, faster, and more scalable than the competitors for enterprises. Our go-to-market is based on 3 pillars: direct sales, growing through AV partners, and expansion through our current clients. We have already validated our product in the market. We work with Pfizer, GSK, Preconsult Solid Homes, among others, in the Middle East, US, and Europe. We have generated more than 380,000 euros in revenue that show a strong demand and repeatability. We are a very experienced team working together in the immersive ecosystem for many years. We combine technical expertise with product vision with commercial execution. And now that we have once validated the market, we are focused mainly in the international expansion. That's why we are raising 2.5 million to accelerate growth and to create commercial teams in the US and Middle East mainly. Ubiquity is turning immersive spaces into a scalable global platform. We believe that every organization will have immersive spaces as they already have websites today. Join us in building the platform that will power the future. Thank you very much.
Okay. Relax now?
Yeah, now yes.
Look, judges are very nice people, so don't worry about them. Judges, questions. I love, I'm like, judges are very nice people. He goes like, bring it up. Okay.
No, super nice question. One is, what kind of hardware would customers have to get? And maybe tell us a little bit more about the Ubox.
Okay, the first question, sorry?
What kind of hardware, you know?
Okay. So we are hardware agnostic. So our technology is composed by 2 main components. One is in the cloud, where we have all the tools to manage user content, creating things. On the other is in the local, in the area. So that will be whatever needed to manage all the pixels that you require. So it's hardware agnostic total. You need more projector, more panels. You need higher computer capability. And the kind of clients was the second question. We have clients in pharma mainly, Pfizer and GSK. We have developed an immersive room in their factories to let them show what they have inside a septical factory without having to enter in. We have audited the results. They have reduced 30% the stop in production with the related benefits in the economy. The other kind of client that we have is real estate. I mean, the use case is simple. They increased the sales 30%.
But you said at the beginning, we are hardware agnostics, full stop. Judges, questions. One more for Victor? Yes? No? There we go.
Thank you very much for the interesting presentation. My question is focused on what is the final focus of the solution? I mean, is this for training? Is this for showing products to clients? Or is this just to have an immersive experience when you are watching a movie?
Could be any of them, depending on the industry. For instance, manufacturing is mainly showing the stuff that they develop in factories and training. And for real estate is showing the properties. But we have also museums. And we have pharma. We have healthcare, depending on the use case. We have also consultancy companies, such as Entity Data, where they show the products or they want to impact their clients.